Hi everybody, good morning. Guys, would request you please confirm whether my audio is clear, loud and clear. The screen visible, legible and working. Okay, seems like we are doing just good. Well, so far you have seen base package functions, getting the data into our environment and manipulating data little bit. You also learn to check the help document. Then we saw, just like ggplot, what happened actually when R was built for the sole purpose of data analysis, statistical analysis. Along with time, it, people felt that the current functions are not, either they are not very efficient, either they are slow, or they are not giving. There could have been better results, or maybe there are some functions which are not available at all. There is functionality which we need, and it is not available anywhere in the base package. Then some other functions were developed, which we call that the set of functions, we call them as package. So we have certain packages which have specific functions to do particular job. So same goes for R and same goes for Python. Those who are familiar with C, they know that in C also there are these kind of things. The libraries are there. You need library. Yes, math.h, this and that. So for R it is also similar. However, it is not that tricky. You just have to find the right package and the right functions. So we will discuss about some packages today which come in handy many a time, which you will require every now and then. So one of them, those packages is just like ggplot you installed. We had the visualization facility. It was just that it was not good enough. So we got to ggplot2 package and we saw that it is a very powerful package for visualizations. Similarly, you have seen many operations on mathematical operations, right? So you can play with numbers. So that is not a problem. But what about strings? So this happened with strings that to manipulate strings, I hope those who are handy a bit, what I could sense was Abhimanyu, Rehan, and Jyoti. So you three are at the top of my head, which I can see that you are handy with coding to a certain level, and you are discovering things by your own. What about strings? What do you have to say? There are some functions, sub-family functions, sub, gsub, in the base package, already built in R. There are functions of grep family, grep, grepl, etc. However, not very efficient, and they get slow also when it comes to dealing with the strings for a large data set. So there is a specific package here in the chat box, the string R, which comes in handy when you are trying to deal with strings. So just install it, please. So one of those packages is StringR. Now you know how to install the package, right? So I have not much to do there. Okay. Can you mention a few things? What would you like to do about a string? When there is a string in a column, what can be the things you think you may need to do with that? Okay, fantastic. That's one. You may need to concatenate. There are two columns like first name and last name, and you may need a third column like full name. That is true. One is that. And fantastic. Vice versa. Exactly true. There may be a column full name, and you might it to be appearing as you may want to extract first name, or you may want to extract last name, or something like that. Very fine. Bang on. What else? Fantastic, Ashutosh. Bang on. Maybe you want to just detect something. You don't want to extract something. You don't want to concatenate, and you don't want to do any manipulation, but you want to just detect something. Very fine. Like name starting with some particular character. Very fine. You may want to check whether there is a pin given in an address column. Yes or no? That kind of thing. If there is pin, it must be number. You will find that out. If there is number, then it is pin. Good. What else? Sorting in alphabetical order. Okay, true, very true. So let's see. We will go with some string manipulation. Let's try it out. Uh, oh my god, I did it twice. I have sent you a dataset. It would be in your mail in a minute. So download it, and we will try to do some string manipulation on that dataset. Kavya, you are here. So again, Kavya, something to pay attention to, because I am discussing some packages, so they have nothing to do with base package commands. So whatever you have skipped, you still have time to revise, and it has nothing to do with that. So you can gather it as good as anybody else. So there are some string family functions. I'm dropping them in the chat box along with what they do, a broad description of each function. Since they are, you know, to keep it intuitive, All the functions of a string R package, they start with keyword str underscore, and then there is the actual function name, what it does. So just copy paste it somewhere, and maybe an R code which we are going to continue. It will keep you posted what's going to be next. So the functions of a string are, these are very popular functions of a string R, but string R is not limited to just these functions. There are several other functions, but these are which are commonly used, which you will require every now and then. Okay, so library string R or maybe require string R, let's attach the package to environment. Let's load this dataset which you have received. And let's, if we check the structure, this is the structure of this dataset. Think about it. Let's do the first things first. Try to find out what this data is talking about. Who does this data belong to? What it is talking about? What are the columns and what are the rows? What is the information all in all? Okay. Now, say somebody asks you the question here in the chat box. You can keep these questions also, so they can, they can become your light beacons when you revise. Say somebody asks you this. What would you want to do? What they are indirectly asking you is, can you figure it out? Monarch, okay, you missed nothing. We have just installed a package, the string R, here in the chat box. This is the package name. So install it, and we are trying to play some string manipulation today. We have already learned how to manipulate numbers, so we can do various things with numbers, but we are very limited when it comes to strings till today. Today we are opening our hands towards string columns, string values in the dataset. Let's see what we can do with them. So the first question which went ahead is, there is a dataset, you have already received it in your mail, and somebody is asking me how many Nokia products are there in the sales dataset, how many Nokia products we have sold. If you understand the data first, before you answer the question, let's get to the data first. What do you think this data talks about? It is a typical data of some e-commerce or some superstore, like Vijay Sales or maybe whatever you want to call it. So there is an order ID or invoice number kind of thing. There is customer ID. Then there is detail of customer. That who is this customer? Whose ID is this? The customer is Rick Hansen, belongs to US. Then we come to what product this person has purchased. The product ID is given like tech, AC, this, that. So they have given some coding to products. Then there is description of product, what this product actually is. Then there is amount of sales, and finally, what was the profit made. Right? So maybe not. So let's think of it like it is not a local player. Maybe it is like somebody Alibaba who is exporting to various countries, right? So that kind of scenario. A script file from start. Here is the start of a script file. These are the functions of a string R package, which I dropped in chat box here again. So these are the functions and function description. So now somebody asked me a question: how many Nokia products are there in the sales dataset? What they are asking me, they're asking me to detect whether in the product name column Nokia is appearing somewhere. If you pay attention to product name, how is product name appearing? Well, this is just ID, product ID. I don't know. But here the product description is given. It starts off with the manufacturer, then model number, and then the description of what this product actually is. That kind of thing it is. Yes or no? It is written like as if you and I are writing. Yes or no? If I am to fill an Excel sheet, I will fill it this way. It's a Motorola, it's a smartphone, and it is cordless kind of thing. It's Nokia, it's a smartphone, and some description. Yes, it is. It comes with caller ID, that kind of thing. What has been asked from me is, what has been asked of me, I need to check that whether the manufacturer is Nokia or not. Now there is a problem. What is the problem here? What is the problem here? You see, Nokia, here it is written like properly it should be. In proper case, we call it proper case. First letter capital and rest is small, like a name should be, like a noun should be. What if somebody has written it in all uppercase? What if somebody has written it in all lowercase? I'll show you. I'll just show you. Don't try to type in, just try to think. First things, what has been asked of me? I am asked to check. Indirectly, they are asking whether Nokia is appearing in this string. That is being asked. So I have to detect Nokia keyword in a particular string. Let's go ahead. How do we do that? What is the function to be used? Can you realize it by now? There are 5-6 functions which I have already dropped, which are very commonly used. It is basically, yes, it is detect function. They want me to detect a string. So let's detect string R package. I know I have to use str underscore detect. Str is always keyword for it. String R function will always start with str. Function is str detect. Now I have to mention the string. Which string? The column. I have to test for entire column. No. Again, for my facility, R appears. R helps me that everything will happen index wise. You just have to mention column name. I don't have to loop from index to index. I just have to mention the column. It will automatically provide me the result index wise. So I am mentioning sales dollar product name. And what is the pattern I am looking for? I am looking for a pattern Nokia. Now think about it. Is this Nokia or is this Nokia? Or is this Nokia? All are Nokia, but for R they are very different people. Yes or no? You know that, correct? So if I do that, first let's see, let's run it and see what the mistake will be if I do it directly. So let's see, first see the result, what is happening. Str detect is doing in the entire column, it will check whether pattern is matching on each index, and on each index it will print true, false, false, true, true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. If detected, it would have been true. If not detected, well, as the case is, it is false. So it is giving result in true and false. The problem is, I am checking for small Nokia. What if I check for proper Nokia? Results would be very different. You see, there are many trues now. Earlier there were not. I can see some true. For some index, it is telling me it is true. Now we can use some Mansi, but we will come to that later. The problem is, what if, how would I know which Nokia to check? Should I check proper case, lower case, upper case? Which one? So when it comes to string manipulation, first things first. First of all, take care of the case itself. Before you go to answer any question, before you do anything else, let's take care of the cases. How can we take care of the case? You already know, if I change this column to uppercase or lowercase, so everything would be similar case. Yes or no? So for the sales data set, for product name, and I am converting it to say lowercase. Very fine, it will settle this. Don't type in, don't type in. Don't type in, you don't need to type these kind of code. This is a foolish code. I'll just get there. So don't type everything I type. I type many things. In my code there are many things just to mention you what could go wrong. Nothing will go wrong, but is it efficient? You have seen that already. We are talking about product name. Okay, let's see. Now the case will be lower. But what about country? Somebody may ask me about countries. Here there can be also the case of uppercase, lowercase. Maybe customer name, maybe product ID, maybe customer ID, maybe order ID. Getting the gist? Getting the gist? Will I keep doing this? Two lower product name, then two lower customer name, then two lower order ID, then two lower country name. Will I keep doing this? For now, there are 5 columns. What if there are 50 columns? I want you to code. You know how to do that. How to parallelize things. How to parallelize operation. How to scale up. You know that. Try it out. I want all the strings to be in lowercase. Code for that and see what happens. Do it yourself. Before I analyze anything else, I want to convert it to a common case. For now, it is lowercase. Go ahead. And tell me when you are done. Don't drop the code in chat box. Just tell me you are done. Mm-hmm. Abhimanyu done. Nikhil done. How have what have you done? Just drop me your code in the private chat. What about others? Why is it taking so long? Acha. Abhimanyu, is it working? Pay attention to environment. What has happened? What have you done with this code? Muzammil, that is the problem. See, you are doing it right, but you are doing just one column. My question is, I don't want to do it from column to column. I want to do it in one go. That all the values which are character should turn to lowercase. If they are already lowercase, well and good. If they are in uppercase, well, convert them to lowercase. I want to code it that way. I don't want to go this column to that column to that column. Not happening, Nikhil. Don't throw me the code. No, please check when you do something. Check whether it is giving you the result. Is it doing what is desired? What is the use if it is not working? Jyoti, uh, drop your code in the private chat. What have you done? Finally, somebody, somebody talking. Very fine, Jyoti. Somebody doing it right. Not right actually, but somebody doing it the way it was expected to be done. Uh, it makes me wonder that yesterday everybody was talking about S apply. You did Bollywood exercise with S apply. Mansi, I know that you know dplyr, but we are not using dplyr for now. We will come to that later. Array, S apply. Forgot it. If I want to replicate a function to various columns, what did we use? What did we use yesterday for Bollywood dataset? Now is the time when real problem comes. S apply, you have done S apply, Ashu and Jyoti. What do you think what will happen? S apply will apply this function to all the columns. When it will apply to all the columns, it will apply it to these columns also, which are actually numbers. What is the lowercase of numbers? Check the structure of your dataset. See what has gone wrong. I hope you will realize. Okay, sure. Rehan, you got this? Ashutosh, Jyoti, you see what has gone wrong? What others are up to, I don't know. See, the problem is I read the dataset, I see structure. So these are numbers and they should be numbers, sales and profit. Okay, rest are characters because there are some strings there. I want these strings to be in common case. So I thought, okay, let's convert into what? Into a common case. So I chose sapply to do that. So I want to convert sales dataset into lowercase. So the function is to lower. What will go wrong if I do that and I check a structure again? Acha, one thing that it has converted to matrix. Okay, because sapply gives result as matrix or vector. Okay, that's not much of a problem, but that could be taken care of. Let's convert it as data frame. The result of sapply will be converted to data frame. So now this is taken care. But what has gone wrong? Now everything is character. Even the numbers are character. Because when you have applied to lower is a function meant for strings. You have applied strings to numbers. So it will try to make a lower case of these. What is the lower case of numbers? Nothing. It will just simply convert them to character. So something has to be done. Yep. Anybody? What can be done? What can be done? Let's not apply to all the columns. No. You can you can yes, you can choose columns. So let's drop these two columns. It is a data set of how many columns? 8 columns. So let's drop 7th and 8th. So I want sapply to be there. Well, row wise I don't have any choice, but I want to drop which columns? 7 and 8. And what do I do? What I want it to be? When this tool over is applied to all the columns of sales except 7 and 8, I want to save it on the same columns. Overwriting. Let's check the structure. Okay, I have already done that. Fair. So now everything is lowercase. Here in the chat box. Okay, Abhimanyu, thank you. You have already done that for me. Now let's decide how many Nokia products are there. Now I know it is not in uppercase, it is always lowercase because entire data is in lowercase now. So if I detect a string Nokia, it gives me result true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Well, they are not asking true, false, they are asking how many. So when there is true, false, what do we do to count how many? You have seen that, you have known that, you have done that by your hand, in fact. Yes, let's add these two false. Nice. Let's add these true and false and we will get to know how many true were there. So we get to know that out of these 25,000 orders, there are 433 orders for Nokia products. So more or less you will follow this syntax. The function will do what function does. It is a detect function. It will detect and tell you true or false. Then there is count function, then there is a split function, then there are extract functions. You mention what is the column you want to operate upon, and you mention what is the pattern you are looking up to. So more or less यही syntax, this is the syntax will be throughout the string package. Okay. Okay. So I'm asking you a question, and let's see if you can find it out. These orders, the order ID is given in a there is a trick with order ID. There is information in order ID. If you pay attention to order ID mentions some things. Uh, here, here in the chat box, the question and the code for the first problem. Actually, I want you to type it so that you will see auto suggestions. You will get to know what are the auto suggestions telling you. You will discover some things there. So, okay. Did you find something with order ID? Now I am making a question to you. Can you count the orders? How many orders came in year 2012? Monarch, you don't have the dataset named sales. Pay attention to your environment. In your environment, what is sales variable? Is it a data frame? I don't think. Uh, okay, Shubhangi, for now you can pay attention to my screen and try to gather as much information as possible. But I would highly recommend that you practice as soon as possible and get back, you know, get back to stream. What happens is when you lag behind, no, when you start lagging behind, it is not a big deal. You can catch up easily, but you start feeling you anxious that in the very next lecture things are happening and you are like don't know what is going on. Okay, you got the question. I wanted you to count the number of orders in 2012. So it can be done both ways. str detect, which you have already seen. To count directly, you can do something else also, but pay attention to what the difference is. Yes, the intention was for, if you try str count, what will happen? Check it out. If I count a string, now the key is somewhere. I'll tell you. You realize the difference. What is difference between str detect and str count? Guys, start the code from reading the file. Read the file from starting and then convert to lowercase. You are doing it wrong. You are not having a look at your environment. Muzammil, same mistake as that of Monarch. You applied sapply and it converted it into a matrix. It is no more a data frame now. So that is why dollar operator is not working. Read the data set again, right from the beginning. Haji, others, do you realize the difference between str count and str detect? The key here is, the key difference is str detect will look on each index of this column whether there is Nokia coming or not. Now it doesn't matter whether Nokia comes once or twice or thrice. It is only checking whether Nokia is there. If Nokia is there, it's true. If it is not, it's false. As simple as that. Count, on the other hand, it will count the pattern. You see, it is counting whether it has come once. If it is it is twice, it will give here 2. If it is thrice, it will give 3, and so on. If it is none, then 0, of course. So that is the difference. So getting the idea, you have to be specific what is the question stating and what you have to answer. So depending upon that, you will choose the function. So here is the code right from the beginning. Here in the chat box, whatever we have done so far. Yes, since count is here, and you know that whenever the order would be in 2012, in the string there would be a pattern hyphen 2010 hyphen. That is the way order is mentioned, right? Order has a way to mention country code, year, and then there is some random string which may be serial number. Fantastically given. Information. So now you can play with this information. Now you are not handicapped because you know string manipulation. Okay. Calculating total? Well, simple. Let's add all the ones. We will get the number, and it is 5350. How can it help you? These kind of things. I'm asking you a question. You will do it by yourself. Pay attention to data. Pay attention to data. I'm asking you in how many orders the customer has purchased phone. Jagdish, I'm not gathering it entirely, but okay, stay with this question. I'll take it in a while. You are getting the question? What I'm asking? I want to find out in how many orders customer purchased a phone, be it any brand. It can be any manufacturer, but it has to be phone. Okay, one answer from Abhimanyu. What about others? I'm giving you the cue here. I'm giving you the cue, and I'm okay. Once fine, Abhimanyu. ठीक है. Okay, Jyoti, you are doing. Guys, who is struggling? Because these are simple things. My intention is to give you 4 5 questions like this, and you will try to answer them by yourself. So, should I do that, or you are still confused? What is going on, and you are not getting your, you are not feeling the grasp. You are not confident that you are having a grip over this. Just be honest, please tell me. So I will think of it that way. Then, Bharat, Harika, Jagdish, Kavya, Shubhangi, Rayudu, Sonam, you are the people, you are least vocal. Please, at least. Okay, not getting very fine. At least tell me that so that I will think of another way to go about it. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's. Okay, okay, fine. Very fine. Very fine. Stay with me. Okay, then I'll need to figure this out. Okay, tell me what you are not getting. What can I do better? Because you have seen my practice. My practice is that kind of thing. I give you, I show you a direction, and then I ask certain questions in that direction, and I expect you people to answer that. What should I do better? यार. Okay, guys. So let's go with your suggestions. First things first. Getting right through the beginning. So I hope everybody will be on the same page after that. We had a data set and we are trying to manipulate a string. Check the structure. Now, first things first. First of all, let's understand the data. Let's have a look at the data minutely. What this data is about. What is the information with this data? There is order ID column. In order ID, you say the order ID they are creating in a particular form. The first 2 letters they denote what? Perhaps country code. Then there is year, in which year this order was placed. And then there is maybe it may be the order number of that year, of that day, of that month. We don't know really, but order ID is the unique ID which they are generating for each invoice, and it is in a particular syntax. So there is information here. Very fine. Customer ID comes next. Again, it is in a particular syntax. It also follows a particular form. It starts with initials of the customer. Rick, Hanson, RH, Justin, Ritter, JR, and then there is okay something random. Is it so? Guys, is my audio clear? So maybe Ashu, you have to tweak it out. Right? Then there is product ID. I say it umpteen number of times, when you receive a data, have a look at the data first. See, being inquisitive is the number one property of an analyst. You should get curious about each and everything. When I see product ID, let's see what is this talking about. Why this weird form per ch and then something code? Why can't it be a direct code? Because it is not just a random code, it is information. Yes or no? What is this talking about? Can you realize it now? This is not there for nonsense. This is category that these are tech products. These are furnitures. There may be something other. AC means something. pH means something. Alright? So there is the syntax is first three letters for category, then two letters of subcategory, and then there is a particular code assigned to the product. So that is the way they are put. Others are pretty much simple. So let's settle first things. Checking structure is always a good idea. So we see that there are some number columns. Now in number columns, I don't want them to convert into character. So I omit them from this toLower function. Why toLower? Well, you already know. To solve the problem of uppercase lowercase mismatch. Now comes our questions. The question asks how many Nokia products are there? So you tried detect. If I detect the term Nokia in particular column, it will give me result as true and false. If I add all the trues, I will get the number of trues, which is 433. So this is how detect works. Another way could have been count, which we are just going to use in the subsequent question. Somebody asked us the number of orders in 2012. So this time I am using str count. I want to count a particular string, which is 2012. Now this is the way count works. Now there are two different things. What is the difference? Somebody asked this. It was somebody's question. Detect gives output as true and false. It has no way to find out whether it is repeated or not. For example, it went to this index and checked whether this product was Nokia. So it detected for a string Nokia, it was found, so it says true. Now it could be once on that index, the product ID may be, product description may be written like Nokia term may be repeating several times. It doesn't bother about that. It has given true and done with it. Count on the other hand mentions if it is there, it will count it, but if it is multiple times, it will count it multiple times also. Got that? So that is the difference of str count and str detect. Somebody's question was that. I hope settled. Somebody's question was why hyphens? Why we are detecting for hyphen patterns? Now its answer lies with the data set. See the question, no? See the question, what your question is asking. Your question is asking number of orders in 2012 in the year 2012. Here it is. Let's go to the order ID. Order ID, I know that this term represents year. I need to count 2012. So I am detecting for 2012 and I will count that. But what I am using is these hyphens also. Why? Can you think of it? Why these hyphens are important? What if I omit this hyphen? What will happen? What can go wrong? Why I have included these hyphens in my pattern? Product ID. I am not talking about product ID. I have mentioned the column order ID, no? In my command, the order ID is already written. Here it is. I am checking only in the order ID column of sales dataset. You see the problem that there are some random numbers here, which are serial numbers of order of that year. I don't know what is the way to put these numbers here. But think about it. If I don't mention these hyphens and somewhere there is 2001 here in this random number, when this is numbers coming in, it may happen, no? How can I find that? How can I be sure about that these random numbers which are coming here in these serial numbers, there can be 2010 also somewhere, might be possible. And if I have used just this string, my function will count that also. That's what I don't want. I want only year to be considered, these values to be considered. So I am saying that okay, 2012, but not only 2012. I want that 2012 which is preceded and terminated by a hyphen sign. That 2012. Now I am sure that when it will count this string, it will be only talking about the year. Okay, so that's why hyphen. Whose question was this? Somebody asked it. It was a nice question, by the way. There's something to pay attention to these kind of details. Okay. Everybody set now? Should I proceed? Go ahead with some other functions. The next question I asked was how to find out how many phones were sold. Now there are two ways of doing it, and two ways will have different results. I'll tell you what. For one, many of you are doing what you are doing, but okay, Manohar has dropped it public, but chalo, okay. Acha, not public, but anyway, it's okay. One thing, what you can do is, yeah, we can simply do it. We can go to product name and we can look for the phone keyword. That's one. Another thing can be you can go to product ID and look for this subcategory PH. Another method. Can you try both the methods? Go ahead, everybody. Try these both the methods. I want. What is the question? I want to see number of phones sold, number of orders of phones. Try both the methods. See what you see, and tell me what do you make out of it. You're getting this? I'm talking about sales of phone, STR count. I want to count product ID and pattern is PH. Both side underscores, both side hyphens because that is the way it is mentioned there, the subcategory of phone. If I do that, I see there are 2292. Okay. If I come to sales of phone and I see specifically phone in the product name, that whether in the product description there is somewhere phone written, and I end up with, well, several values less. It has happened to everybody. Everybody able to do so far. Everybody tried these both methods. No problem. Anybody anybody is struggling with this? Jyoti, perhaps you missed that uppercase lowercase part. Did you miss or did I miss? No, I didn't miss. I have done that. Okay, all set so far. STR count, sales, product ID, pattern phone, sales phone, STR count, detect, pattern phone. Tell me one thing. Okay, you are using detect then. Okay, Jagdish, same for you. Perhaps you are also using detect. See, if you are using detect or phone, detect here, I don't think it will make any difference. Reason being, you are specifying particularly there is only one thing which can be, enclosed by hyphen. So that is subcategory, and you will find PH. So there is no case of duplicacy here possible. On the other hand, when it comes to product name, phone can be repeated multiple times. They can write a description Nokia smartphone and it is a phone with caller ID. So phone will come twice. That is happening here. So in a way, yes, you should count it only once because in description if phone comes twice, it does not mean that there were two phones in that order. The order was for one phone only. So using detect makes sense here. My question was something else. What I wanted to show you is you are getting the hang. Manipulating strings can fetch you many information. This brings me to question, what is that which is being sold as phone but not actually phone? Yes or no? There are things like that. If I see that what are the orders in subcategory PH. So I see there are 2000 something orders. But when I see that how many phones are sold, okay, let me also just try with SPR detect, because detect is the right thing to do here. I end up seeing that there are only 1564 orders when it was actually a phone. Can you find out the data where subcategory is PH but it is not actually phone? Can you subset that? Go ahead, give it a try. I'm curious now. Yes or no? You should be curious now. I would be very much interested in seeing that what the hell we are selling in the name of phone, which is not actually a phone. You got the question? What I'm asking? I am asking for the data where subcategory is this PH, but it is not actually phone. We will see what the hell it is. If you do it right, you may be getting answer 1100 something using STR detect. Jyoti, you have. Wow, perfect, Jyoti. Nicely done. Very clean. Mm, Rehan, I don't think it is doing anything sensible. It is not returning anything. Think about it. Think about it. I want to filter this sales data set on basis of some condition. What are the two conditions? They are already written there. I am saying that in product ID, there should be PH. Yes or no? I want the data of subcategory PH and I want to see where there is no phone keyword. So getting the two conditions. So this is case of multiple conditions. I want product ID to be PH subcategory. At the same time, I want product name should not contain phone. These are the two conditions happening. After that, it is simple. You use the which function and you filter with the square brackets and well, you know the drill. The key is to get the conditions right. Full data? Not exactly. It is your code. It is your code which I have taken. Acha, you wanted to see just product ID. Okay, you can see product ID, but by product ID, I will not get to know na, what is the product description. So that is why I'm fetching entire data. Here in the chat box, guys, and tell me what is the difficulty here. Why can't you make sense of this? Uh-oh. I think I have replied. Acha, I have replied to everybody. Fine. Think of the two conditions. I am saying detect where product ID contains ph, and at the same time, what do I want? I want product name pattern ph not. So that true. So here, getting this, which function means it will return the rows where where the product ID subcategory is ph, but product name does not contain phone. So that is number of rows. Columns, I want all the columns. I am saving it into a variable called phone category mismatch. I see there are 1000 some orders, more than 1000 orders, where subcategory is ph, but product name does not contain any phone. What do you think? Are they phones or are they something else? And what could have been done? Galaxy Mega 6.3. I think it's name of a speaker, if I'm not wrong. Audio dock. Well, certainly not a phone. But Galaxy Note 2. What is Note 2? Is it a phone or is it a tab? Signal booster, signal booster, handset, lifter, audio docks, cordless, wipes, headset, Bluetooths. What do you think? What do you make out of this? What do you make out of this? I'm not, mind you, I'm not asking you to solve it. I'm just asking you whether do you notice it. This is something which should become a sequence of thinking, of your thought process. I wanted to see how many phones are there in our order. Now, okay, somebody may think, let's count phone keyword in product name. Other may think, let's count subcategory in product ID. Anybody can think anything. It is your job as analyst to do the right thing, to dig a little further. Okay, kids? Getting the idea? Nobody is asking you to solve anything. You cannot solve everything. But are you looking at the problem? Are you getting the problem right? At least. That is the key here. First things first, get the problem right. Okay, so far so good. Now shall I pick up speed a little bit? I have gone terribly slow today. Okay, I'm dropping you a code. I hope you will notice what's happening here by yourself. Here in the chat box, run it and try it and think what it is doing. And is it okay? All good? Not actually this one. Here in the chat box. This one. What we are trying to do, you getting it? And do you understand what's happening? The variable name, okay, variable name has glitched a little bit. Tweak that out by yourself. And something will glitch here. Do you realize what's happening? Name not found. What am I doing wrong? Anybody getting this? Here in the chat box, again, I think some variable name was misplaced. let's see what's happening. Code is already with you, so let's not worry about it. Let's worry about something else. What we are trying to do is we are trying to apply hands-on with the split family. I want to split strings into pieces, reverse of concatenate. Somebody uh, mentioned that. So the function is str underscore split. I want to split what? Customer's name, and the pattern I am looking to split is the space. So what I mean to say is, in this sales dataset, we will catch hold of this column and we will start splitting first name. When there is space, it should split. Then second value, if there is further space, it should again split. If there is still space again further, and so on. Yes, that's the idea. That's the idea here. So that's how it will work. So let's split name, and if I split it, something is not working here because something is not very happening because your output is a list. Remember I talked about there is a data structure list and many functions give output as list. List, however, is not very practical data structure for us. Remember help function? My function strsplit is doing something. It is producing a list. If I see list, well, it is a large list. It is doing what it is doing. This list has several elements, one element for each row. What each element is? It is a vector of first name and last name. Element 1, element 2, element 1, element 2, and so on. If there is element 3 somewhere, I don't know, must be there, but I'm not very sure. Can you check the help function of str underscore split and figure it out? What can we do better? Go ahead, try it yourself. There's a parameter simplify, which gives me liberty to, by default it is false. When it is false, it comes in form of lift. Remember sapply is simplified apply. So the output of lapply, which was list, sapply used to give it in form of matrix or vector. The same is happening here. If I simplify this output, I don't want it as list. Let's simplify it, and now I am getting it as what I am getting. I am getting a matrix now. You see that? There's a matrix, and matrix by far is pretty good, at least better than list. Let's have a look. So see what kind of matrix we happen to have. We have a variable 1, we have a variable 2, so it is containing first name, it is containing last name. Then we have variable 3. Why is it here? And it is all blank. Why do you think it is happening? Space after the last name? Okay, might be the case. Anything else? It is because it is happening because we have said separator is what? We have mentioned on what pattern to split. On pattern which is blank space, white space. Exactly. Finally. Correct, Nikhil. Somebody might be having third name also now. Haven't you seen names like this? Yes or no? What will happen in this case? It has seen this space, split. Okay, but then there is another space. So it will split it again. Now, whosoever is having these three letter, three strings in their names, for them there would be value. For others, it is looking like blank. So that's why V3 is coming. I don't know where. Somebody must be there. You see, here it is. Sue and Reed. So this is the lady who is having three strings in her name. So that is why variable 3. Got this? Now getting to the next code. Now since it is matrix is not very intuitive. Let's convert it to data frame. We can convert, and we have a data frame a split name. We have converted into a data frame, and now it is like so. This is a split. Hanji, what else would you maybe you want to do within strings? Anything else you think you may need? You see that people are having three names. There are people who are having three names. Say I want you to standardize this thing. I want the name should appear like first name and second name, first name and second name. I don't want anybody, if somebody is having third name, I want it to vanish. I want to standardize my data. So that's where you will need concatenating. So what I am doing here is, let's concatenate. What I am concatenating, the keyword is str underscore c. The only c stands for concatenate. There in the chat box. Run it and see what it does. Is it doing the right thing, or is it needs some tweaking? Tell me. Yes, you realize that I have concatenated first name with second name, but I have chosen no separator. Can you do that? Please try it. You can mention n number of things to concatenate separated by a comma. So try to give a separator in between. I am saying just to make it common for all, use underscore as separator. Let's not use space. Space has become boring. Let's use underscore. Very fine. Everybody got this? Simple? Now I want you to add this column to the original sales data. In sales data, we already have a column customer name. I want you to add a column name should be something, okay, keep it full name or keep it proper name. The column name should be proper name. And I want you to have this column in the data set itself. I don't want this column to be independent. It should be in the data set. This column contains first name underscore second name, and there is no third name appearing here. So my data will become standard. Do whatever you have to do. Please go ahead. You are doing cbind. I don't know if I have mentioned that. See, you can do it this way. You don't need to do cbind kind of thing. Check this out, okay? I'm just showing you that. If I want something to be in my data set, I don't need to create a vector first and then I will cbind it. If your idea is that, what I can do is I can directly mention the data set. I will put a dollar sign. Dollar sign shows auto suggestion of existing columns. But if mention a new column, I am saying I need a new column proper name. So it will initiate a proper name column here itself. Okay. Pay attention to the environment. You see, now there is a new column there. A column increased on my data set. Hope you noticed that. So try it. If you want to do cbind, well, nothing wrong in that. It will do the same job. But this is another way to do the same thing. I think it is easy. Okay. Okay. Abhimanyu, no problem. Just pay attention. Nothing in particular. See, I wanted, what did I want? I split it, the customer name. It is split it into three columns. Some were having first name, last name. Some were having first name, middle name, and last name. Now I decided that let's standardize things. I don't want any third column to be there. I want first name, second name for each customer. So from this splitted matrix, I got split matrix. I converted it into data frame. Now what I'm doing is I want to concatenate the first two columns only. I will omit the third column. So I'm using str underscore c. C stands for concatenate. I want to concatenate first column. The separator is underscore and then the second column. This way I got a full name variable, but full name variable is independent vector. If I do that, you see there is a variable full name which is a vector and it is containing what does it contain? What does it contain if I print it? It contains names only in the desired syntax. First name underscore second name, first name underscore second name. I am saying this independent vector doesn't serve any purpose. I want yes or no. What do I do with this independent vector? I need something in my data set. There are the values, no? That's my data. So I want it to be as part of my data set itself. So that's where I'm doing, rather than creating a vector and then I will do cbind. So I will have this vector in my data. So that is one way to do that. There is a direct way to do that. I am not using any of this. If I don't use any of this, what I am doing is I am directly going to dataset dollar and I am initiating a new column name. I am calling it proper name. If I use an existing name, it will be overwritten. I don't want to overwrite anywhere. I want to create a new column. So I am putting a unique name here, a new name here. So it will be the Q to R that initiate a new column in this dataset with this name. And I want to assign this value in this column. So just like that independent vector, it will create a vector. However, it is not independent now. It is part of this dataset. That's what is happening here. If I view my dataset, you will see there is a proper name column now at the end of the dataset. As good as cbind. Nice. Good. Badhiya. All set, everybody. So this is pretty much about string R. So you know several functions to manipulate with the strings. There are other functions also which you can give it a try. You can go for help function and you will find out. Now tell me one thing, should I move ahead or is it enough for today? Hello, where are you guys? Are you half are you half asleep already? Is it so? Don't even want to respond. Please guys, go ahead quickly. Hello Charlie, hello Delta calling. Okay, so majority wants to call it a day for today. Okay, no problem guys. So let's not rush up things. You already have something on your back, that is Titanic dataset, where you have to create visualizations, right? So let's call it a day for today. Maybe this string manipulation will help you there. Maybe you can try some string manipulation in that Titanic dataset. Maybe you will get some new information. See to it. See, look out for the columns where you can do some string manipulation and think about it whether it can help you. Right? Go for help documents of the functions which you are not getting fully. No, Jyoti, you don't have to submit it. It is for your practice so that you get to know how to use visualizations. Now, since you don't have to submit it, it doesn't mean that you don't have to do it. It is for your own good if you practice this data set because it is going to come back and bite you. We will meet this data set again in logistic regression. Okay, so it will be for your own good if you become, handy with the data set currently. So you will win half the battle here itself. Otherwise, it is going to, it is a very notorious data set. Mark my words, it is going to test you like anything. The Titanic one, Monarch. Muzammil, I have already given you. The Titanic dataset, you have to create visualizations as beautiful as possible. Try to figure it out, what's happening there. Try to get the insights, and then make sure that if you are to present those insights to somebody, you can explain them without the code, just by a PPT. No more questions, Muzammil. Bollywood dataset was there for like questions and answers, but now you are going to, let's get into testing waters. Your problems will be, your questions will be, you will not have questions. Your projects will be kind of open ended to a very fair extent. Maybe, okay. Okay, Muzammil. So that's why I am saying that you will not have question answer kind of things. You will not get that liberty in this domain. You will have to be curious enough. What to see, what to do, what next, what else. Okay, very well, guys. So enough for today. Let's call it a day. And signing off. If there is any question, I can stay for a minute or two. Otherwise, you are free to leave. Bye bye and take care. And tomorrow we'll continue with some advanced tricks of EDA. Okay, people. Bye, all. Very welcome.
Hello.